Alright, hello everyone, this is Crota, and yes, I am doing a little bit of an introduction. First of all, I am actually traveling and on the road today, so there's going to be a little bit of difference in my cast. I apologize for the gray screen already. For some reason, I can't get the old prior production to work. But let's go ahead and jump into Game 1 in a series. It is going to be between TSL's Polt versus Chobittsu here on Shakura's Plateau, Game 1 in this series. Now, TSL's Polt spawning as the red Terran player here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the top right-hand side of the map, it is Chobittsu spawning as the green Protoss player. Now, a special shout out and thanks to Razer for giving me a good headset that actually works well on the road. I will be casting on the road, and I know MSI had wanted me to test out their latest laptop. Unfortunately, they were unable to get it to me before I'm out on the road. More details on that later. Perhaps maybe even a little bit of a weblog at the end of this series. Now, let's go ahead and see what's going to go down here. Polt is spawning as the red Terran player, as I mentioned. This is going to be full cross spawns here on Shakura's Plateau. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Both of these players pretty much know the general direction that their opponent has spawned already. You can take a look. Chobittsu opting to go for a little bit of a curious location on this pylon here, building it away from the front door, perhaps hoping that Polt will not actually go up the ramp to scout. Now, taking a look at what Polt is doing, Polt is not setting up a barracks close to that front door, no, building it actually close to his command center. Still don't see any refinery come in yet. Meanwhile, Chobittsu is perhaps going for a delayed gateway and maybe trying to go for gateway first. Now, Nexus first. Nexus first is a rather risky build on a map like this, just because your opponent has the general direction of where you are spawning. Chobittsu will be going up against a refinery with a barracks. Perhaps we might even see a tech lab go down, as now Chobittsu is making his way down with this probe. It looks like it is going to be a 16 Nexus, and now starting to do a bit of scouting. Coming back around, Polt already getting up that gas. He should be getting up that barracks and finishing that up. We'll see if he adds an add-on first. Nope, going to be training up a Marine and going into orbital command. Perhaps going to get up a second supply depot here in just a moment, as Polt is starting to do a little bit more scouting. And we also see a second barracks being placed down by Polt, so Polt is going to be very, very aggressive here. Already a forge fast expansion here coming in by Chobittsu. Chobittsu should be able to get up some photon cannons here on the front door fairly easily, as the SCV now wandering across the map will quickly not find his opponent down here close by air spawns, and it will be that full cross spawns here as Chobittsu now looking to set up a photon cannon here on the front door. Now, one Marine is going to be here. A probe will quickly get pushed away. Nicely done by Chobittsu. Good map control, good map awareness, making sure to pull away with that probe and not get that taken down all too early. SCV going to be coming up the ramp. Photon cannon about 20 seconds away from being completed. Not going to be completed in time. And Polt has pretty much a good idea of what he's going to be going up against. Taking a look here, we can see the gateway and now going into double assimilator. So Chobittsu, is he going to... Yes, he's only going to be placing 2 probes for gas instead of 3. Less diminishing returns. I would have been very surprised if Chobittsu actually went for 3 probes for gas. Now, Chobittsu is chrono boosting out more and more workers here. Taking a look, it looks like Polt is not going to be going for a command center down on the low ground, so Polt is going to be very aggressive. And the question now is going to be whether or not Chobittsu is going to have enough information about this incoming mass Marine army. If he has enough information, he will be able to defend against it. But there's only 1 photon cannon here on the front door, training up against 3 Marines at a time, and now going into a factory. The factory is being added. We could see a starport as well, and Marines with stim against a single photon cannon here would be very effective, as Chobittsu is definitely playing for the long game. You can see double assimilators now being placed down here at the natural. He's going to be running off of 4 geysers, most likely 2 probes per geyser, and level 1 armor upgrade. Alright, so Chobittsu is trying to go and utilize that level 1 armor upgrades with Guardian Shields, and if he's able to do that, he should be able to defend against this Marine push. But there's still only 1 photon cannon here. You can take a look back down over here. The photon cannon did get the kill. There's a Marine at each of these Zelnaga towers. So Polt does have map control as a Stalker is now making its way across. Oh, this could be very bad news. You can see 4 Marines are going to be at that Zelnaga tower here, trying to go up against there, and now it is going to be 4 Marines. Oh, very bad news. That Stalker needs to get away. It is going to be 8 Marines very, very soon, and that Stalker is pulling back. We are going into sentries. More sentries are being added. Oh, it's only 1 sentry here on the ramp, and that is not going to be enough to really deal with this mass Marine army. We are also going into siege tanks with siege tech, so Polt is pretty much doing a 1 base all-in counter, hoping to deal enough damage and push back here. Chobittsu does have a slight harvester advantage, 44 to 26, slight, perhaps not a good definition there, as 18 harvester advantage, but he is going to have a very, very large army disadvantage. 225 minerals, 250 gas versus 1050 minerals, 125 gas. Now, if Chobittsu had perhaps more sentries and Polt didn't have siege tanks, he might be able to hold off here, but I really think that Polt is just going to be able to siege up on the low ground and really blast away at that photon cannon. These sentries are not that effective against this mass Marine army, as we're going to see, especially with siege tank. Only 1 or 2 siege tanks are needed. We are going into Phoenixes, and the Phoenixes may be able to shut down perhaps 1 siege tank, but not 2. Marines now backing away. More Marines coming in off over here. We are going into that medevac. Siege tanks are ready. Warp in tech has been completed, and here we go. Here's the next engagement. Are we going to get those force fields? Yes, we are, as the siege tank is able to blast up straight up onto that high ground. Oh, the siege tank just within range of taking down that photon cannon here. Photon cannon getting blasted away. The Marines pretty much knowing that they do not need to walk in here. Now finally coming in. Is Stim ready? It looks like Stim is ready, and Chobittsu is just going to get punished here. No probes are being pulled just right yet. The Zealots are now trying to make their way in, but this mass Marine army going to clean up, and there is the GG. So game 1 going very quickly in favor of Polt here on Shakura's Plateau. Polt just played that very well. Chobittsu didn't have enough scouting information at all. And without scouting information, you pretty much don't know when that attack is going to be coming in. He perhaps teched into that Stargate play, which I didn't think was altogether that useful. If he had placed down another gateway, warped in some more units, that would have been much better. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed Game 1 here on Shakura's Plateau. Stay tuned for Game 2.